Getting back from the Robin Hood today. Cody is going to be on his way down to the Robin Hood. He's hanging out with some friends and family down there at Hood Canale, which is opening its pizza down there. So I'm not supposed to tell everyone yet, so you guys don't flood them. But in a week, Hood Canale is opening their wood-fired pizza, and you will need to flood them with business. So drive on down there, plan that for next week. But welcome to the channel. I am going to be driving through Belfair. Instead of trying to drive and do this forever, we will stop here in a minute. I'll hop out and we'll take questions and I'll get through this. But this may be a quicker live today as we are mobile working on all the projects. As always, post down below, ask your questions. I will read through the chat and we will go as long as we can or until the questions stop. So until then, today's theme. So the topic for today is going to be the resort, running the resort, and what it looks like in the summer. Right now, in our phase of business, Cody and I are working on staffing the resort. And this is the part that really falls on me and my side of the business because I am the ops side. So while Cody's working on a lot of our deals or refinances and working on that side of the business, we have 3 employees that we still need. I need 2 cleaners and I need a head of hot tubs. What we've learned doing this deal, anyone who wants to get into hospitality, yes, you can seller finance your way into these $0 down. These opportunities are out there. What you have to know is that this is going to be a lot more work than a lot of your seller financed multifamily deals. Multifamily, people generally want to be left alone. They want their units maintained. They want to live in a nice place, and they don't want to communicate with you a lot. As you get a little bit farther along, you're going to what you'll find in the hospitality space is that it's super busy. Everyone wants everything from you, and it's very hard to retain employees because only so many people want to be a cleaner for so long. In other updates, Cody and I are working on 108 units that we're under contract for, 2 transactions. We're going to be giving you guys a lot more detail coming up here, so stay tuned week by week. But one of the deals is in Walla Walla, 60 units. The other one in a city called Sunnyside we're working on with a very good friend for 48 units. More stuff in the pipeline, but those are the 2 big ones. Really excited to take them out. New cities, new teams, building the business, and that is what we're working on right now. In the chat here, Gabe was kind enough to mention he's glad the bus did not take out my my house, which is a good point. For those who don't know, yesterday, right as I was starting our mentorship group, a bus came in and almost drove right into my studio. They got T-boned by a car going like 50 miles an hour. It was absolutely insane. Makes for an interesting mentorship group. Live drama, car chases, the whole 9 yards. If you haven't signed up yet, multifamilystrategy.com. But seriously, there was a second where I was like, wow, I have an ADU. There's a bus in my front yard. We're just going to rent that thing out. But no, they got that cleared in a few minutes. That was absolutely incredible. So yeah, if you haven't checked that out, I posted a comical video on that on my Instagram at Christian Osgood. You guys can check out the actual footage from the crash. My security cameras picked up the whole thing. Now to our first question here. This is from Marco. Hey, dude, quick question. Would you be opposed to me sending you info on a deal I found? You can send info. I get sent a lot of deals. It's mostly people who are in the mentorship group is where I prioritize my time. However, you can feel free to send that over to my Instagram at Christian Osgood. And if I can pull a spare moment, I will take a quick look. Curious if you see this here, where the deal is at and how many units. Always interested to take a look at those. And by the way, if anyone ever wants us to take a look at deals, the easiest way is, like, if you're in any of our mentorship groups, like, we'll go over calls. We have a call every Tuesday where we actually go over all the details, what we're doing, look at the deals, how would you fund them, what offer do you need to put together to get them accepted. We work on all that, but by all means, if you want to reach out, I will try my best to make time. Just know that first come, first serve, and people who are in our crew will absolutely be prioritized. Gabe asks, how quickly do you think someone starting from scratch could hit 5K positive cash flow after joining your course? And I'll be honest here, with or without joining the course. I was able to do this without a mentor, but I had a partner who had a pretty good head start. I was able to build 5K per month on our first deal. That was our 38 plex. It took about 6 months for it to yield that. We got that all the way up to 10K a month, and then we refinanced it, and we're doing a whole bunch of renovations. So we actually removed some tenants. We brought the cash flow back down to about break even, and then we're gonna ramp it back up to a whole new level with the newly renovated building. So short answer, you could do it in very feasibly. You can build a 5K passive income in a year. If you're not doing this full time, because that was absolutely full time for us, 2 years, very reasonable. 3 years, tops. It's not that hard to build that much cash flow if you are actively involved with people in your community. Where I would start, like, absolutely sure, take our course at mentorship. Those are good places to be, but the priority is set your goal, which you've already done, 5K a month. Like, what do you want to hit and why do you want to hit it? 5K a month, positive cash flow, totally reasonable. That buys a lot of people a good deal of freedom. So you've set a target. The next thing and most important thing is connect with people in your market. Connecting with people online is awesome. Learning from people online and applying the information is awesome. Nothing will beat going to local meetups, meeting with owners in your market, learn from the people who've already done what you want to do where you're at. If you can do that, that 5K goal is going to happen a lot faster. From Zach here, as far as property management, which software would you recommend? How do you handle older tenants who are anti-technology? That's actually a great question. I have some good stuff for that. Do you pick up their rent from them? Appreciate your insight. Okay, property management software. The best one out there, I believe, is Appfolio. I've seen a lot of them. I've worked with a lot of them. In my days working as a CoStar rep selling data, I worked with a lot of different property managers. All the big ones use Appfolio. That is the standard one. There's some software in Yardi that some of them use. I think it's called Yardi Matrix, but Appfolio is the best. The caveat, you have to be managing 50 units to use that software. So either you need to use a property manager who manages enough units to use that software, or you have to own that many units. Or you start a property management company. I did both. I bought the units and then started the company. If you are getting started, I have heard from a lot of people, Buildium is the best one while you're building your way to 50 units. I can't say that from personal experience because I haven't used it, but consistently, almost everyone I know who has had a positive experience with rental software has said they started with Buildium, they built their portfolio, they switched to Appfolio. That is typically what I see. As far as older tenants who are anti-technology, we have of 150 doors right now. We have 2. My wife's in the car with me. I'm gonna check. We only have 2 that we do still does like pick up a check, right? They're
2,
Cody's?
yeah.
Cody's? Okay. Thank you, Danny. Danny, you're in the live. Yeah, so we have 2 tenants that we pick up a check for. They're some of Cody's legacy tenants. We do that as a courtesy for Cody because Cody is my business partner. I recommend not doing that. There's actually a lot of systems that you can do. A lot of them mail checks, and we have a separate P.O. box set up so we can pick those up, deposit them at a bank on a weekly basis. That's what my property management company does. Those 2 people who have checks, we do pick them up when we're in town, so we coordinate with them. There's also some systems like there's a lot of places where they can go to a gas station or Walmart and actually pay their rent there, and the Walmart will mail their rent to you, which is crazy. Or you can actually deposit direct to the account at the bank. So there's a bunch of different ways around it where there are multiple systems you can come up with where they can get money deposited into your account without you having to pick up the check from them. So outside of 2 people, they pay in cash, and they're very, very, very old, both of them. So for those 2, Cody's requested that we continue that system. Those are the only 2 I'll ever do that for. What's up, Real Estate Geniuses? Hey, Dividend Dave. Good to see you guys. I met Dividend Dave. His name is legally Dividend. He got it changed. I'm kidding. But no, Dave with Cody, Dion, and Mike all down in Portland. Dave is, for lack of a better word, the best. If you guys haven't met him, you need to. He's fantastic. Okay, what's the best way to estimate market rents? For example, if I'm looking at a triplex and it's the only triplex in the area, how would you evaluate that? So triplexes are hard. 1 through 4 units are valued by comp. Now with multifamily, you usually look at actual rents. So you're looking for a local cap rate. And you're going, okay, how much net operating income is there? And that's how you're going to value it. If you're looking at a triplex and there's nothing else around, you're going to have to keep just expanding the radius till you find something. It's super inconvenient. Some people will actually take large houses with similar square footage and try to use those as comps. One of the things I would recommend doing is reaching out to a broker and be like, hey, can you help me comp this? Because they are going to have a better idea of how you comp something in a smaller market where there's not a lot of comparable. They still have to sell things. They still have to price things. So I would go with a broker's opinion of value. That should be free. If you have a broker you have any relationship for. And in my state, broker and real estate agent's the same thing. So if you're in any other state, you go to a real estate agent, you ask them, how would you price this? Get their opinion. It will vary a little bit market by market, but that is a tricky thing with triplexes. From Sean, are Caleb and Chuck still partners? Haven't seen them together the last few lives. Caleb and Chuck, I'll let him share his whole story. They are still partners on some of their stuff. They've gone separate ways on a few other projects. They, like most people, most partnerships don't work out for everything. Cody and I are a little bit unique where we had a partnership that worked for everything but property management, which I currently run solo. All right. So yeah, that's where Caleb and Chuck are at. Caleb's doing a little bit more things solo, a few things with Chuck. You guys may see them, I think they're gonna ramp up the channel again though, so you guys might see a little bit more. From Matt, seems like all marketed deals are negatively leveraged right now in my market. How do these deals transact? Can't find something where they're asking 75% LTV, even close to 1.5 DSCR workaround. So if they're currently leveraged on the property, it may not be seller financeable. That does come up from time to time. So if you're not seller financeable, they used to have too much debt on it to carry the contract. A lot of things are just not transacting right now in general. Another thing that can happen is they just need to come down on price. It's a bummer. When you do have someone who has less, they have more equity, less debt, you can start to get away with things where it's like, okay, well, I can give you last year's price if I get last year's terms. And we get that a lot. Where I'm like, look, I don't have a problem with your price. I have a problem with the fact that the banks are too expensive, and everyone understands that. People generally agree with that. And you go like, well, if you're open to carrying a contract, we'll see if interest rates normalize. But if we did a 5-year contract with an option to extend another 5 years for a fee, I could do this if you can finance at 4.5%. The deal might work there. That is not every single deal, but it is something to ask. I actually asked someone that today for a deal I was looking at. Actually looking at venturing into Texas. They said no, that's fine. You're not going to get a yes every time. But if you can find someone who is capable of carrying a contract, or at least financing their equity, you might have an option. You can also combine seller financing with bank debt, which is what we looked at doing earlier this year too, where you can actually get something truly zero down. Bank will finance like 65% of it. Seller will finance their equity, so like the other 35 in that case, and you can get a free property. You just have to be able to cash flow it, make the payments, make sure your tenants pay the mortgage. From Jan, if I have a deal that I need some help securing, do you do one-on-one calls, or is the mentorship calls the only ones you offer? So anyone who's in the mentorship, we do one-on-one. If you need help, we just commit to doing that. So it's group training, because a lot of what we found is when we did one-on-ones, it's pricey for the individual to book an hour of time from busy people, and that's just I hate that that's true, but that is just the reality of my time now. Like we are busy. However, what we do is anyone's in the mentorship, I'm invested in your success. If someone's like, hey, I'm working on a deal, I need a one-on-one, I need some help. That is what we've committed to. And that's anyone who's ever been through the mentorship. So I think we have a 3-month program right now. If you're doing, if you're part of the 3-month program, you've graduated, you're just signed up, doesn't matter, you need help, within 24 hours, Cody or I, or both, will help you out. I've even had, funny enough, I was busy once where we were traveling and on a plane for 2 days, like basically like fly in, speak, fly out. We actually had Caleb volunteered to hop on the call, figured out the deal, that we came in a couple days later and helped out. So one-on-one is available. Just it's anyone who's in our programs. I'm definitely willing to help you. So for Matt, so basically seller brings down price or offers favorable terms or move on. I mean, honestly, yes, that is the option. You can get price, you can get terms. If you don't get either, you don't have a deal. I wish there was like a super sexy way around that, but the reality of it is you have to get price or terms or both. And if you don't have them, it's pass and move on. Cody and I, it seems like we do a lot of deals sometimes, but we don't close every deal we do. We don't. Sorry, let me try that again. We don't close every deal we offer on. Every deal we do in fact close. But every time we offer, it doesn't always come together. We had a 34 unit under contract recently. When we did due diligence, we counted the doors and there were only 29 of them. I'm not super good at math, but that's 29 is less than 34. We ended up walking on that deal because the seller lied and thought that we couldn't physically count the number of doors. That being said, they had a reasonable price. They had great terms. Deal didn't come together. Sometimes you just have to move on. So Jan, completed the course, but not yet purchased the mentorship call. Has been working on finding a deal before actually signing up. Yeah, Jan, if you've taken the course, message me on Instagram at Christian Osgood. I am booked out for like all day today, but I will answer you tomorrow, and let's take a look at that. Let's take a look at that. I'd be happy to hop on a quick call with you, and we'll get it figured out. Absolutely. Mason, how do you get owners to pick up your phone calls? Excellent question. So not everyone picks up the first time, especially when I'm calling out of area. I have a different area code than everyone. Every property I have one with the same area code. So I'm calling from out of area. Not everyone picks up. That's totally fine. What you want to do is voicemail etiquette. I perfected this, I believe, when I was at the CoStar group. I did a bunch of research. I tested this like crazy. When you make a call and it goes to voicemail, the timer starts. If you go over 45 seconds, there is a basically 0% chance that they will call you back. It will not happen. Not possible. So you have a maximum of 45 seconds, ideally 30 seconds. You don't want to give too much information. You don't want to give not enough information because they're not going to call you back. So in my case, hey, this is Christian. Wanted to get a hold of you. I had a quick question. Could you give me a call back at this number, 425-336, and I give the rest of my number. Easy. That is basically what I do. I don't tell them, hey, I'm calling about your property, because they don't have enough information. If someone calls and says, hey, I wanted to talk to you about this property, I'm going to assume that you're some random person trying to buy my property. I don't think you're trying to build a relationship. There's not enough there. All I want them to do is call back, and then I have about 5 seconds at the beginning of a phone call to keep them on the phone and keep them interested. But those are the statistics. You have a maximum of 45, minimum of 30 seconds. Say your name, ask for a quick call, give them your callback number, say thank you, looking forward to hearing from you, end call. That is the easiest way to get a call back. I have sold millions and millions of dollars of data as a sales rep. Granted, my commission was nowhere near that, but I brought in a lot of money for other companies with that voicemail script, and it has worked consistently for me in meeting owners and buying real estate. And Matt wants to know, the negotiation works the exact same through brokers. I talked to a broker today about a deal where it's overpriced, they're not willing to carry a contract. This is a good example. They don't have any debt on it, so it's seller financeable. You don't always need to get seller financing, but on this one, I was like, look, are they open to carrying a contract? They said no. I asked them to double check, they did. And I was like, look, this is what I've done. And I showed them some of my portfolio, and I'm like, I have done this 20 times. This is my business model. Do you know why this doesn't work for them? And their answer, the broker, was, okay, they want to cash out. They don't want to carry a note. They don't want to carry multifamily. They're older. They just want out of the game. They're pulling their chips off the table. I respect that. There's a time for some people where they're like, you know what? I have done what I came here to do. I'm pulling my chips off the board. I'm out. That is a fine thing to do. The only problem with that property, it's also overpriced. I don't think it will sell so they can take the chips off the table. So what I've done is I've set together a basic framework of, if they change their mind or it doesn't move and the creative idea comes back, like if they're stuck on their price, I'm here, you can give me a call. Simple as that. It may come back, may not, it's okay. I walked on it, but I left the door open for, I don't think the property, even though it's really cool, I think they over improved the property for where it's at. They want a premium they're not gonna get. And so you just stay in the race, stay in contact, talk to that broker. Maybe in a few months I'll reach out to her and just go, hey, did that property ever end up moving? I was thinking about it again, wanted to give you a call. And a lot of the deals come together like that, like a lot. Things go on market, they don't move. People remember you were the guy who proposed creative finance, and all of a sudden, 3 months later, 6 months later, you're the one who buys it. And Mason, can I find owner's name online? Or I can find the owner's name online, but can't find his mobile number. Have you ran into that before? Yes, I have. What you're gonna do is you're gonna take their name, plug it into Google with the city that the property's in, that you think the person's in. So you'll take their name, you're gonna type the city they're in Google, and you're gonna type the word phone number. Now what you'll find in the searches, there'll be several different Google things. You're usually gonna find 4 or 5 different numbers when you do that. What you want to do, I found this really helpful. The first thing I do is I type them all into my text. If any of them, most people have an iPhone. It's over 50% of people use iPhone. At least I think that statistic's true. Someone can fact check me. But majority of people use iPhone. It's the most widely used phone. If any of those light up blue, it means it's an actual cell phone that is active. That is the easiest way to find people. We called Jordan Belfort, Wolf of Wall Street. Number lit up blue of the 50 that showed up for him. He texted right back. That's how we met Brad Lee. If you guys saw that podcast recently, Dropping Bombs, exactly how he did it. I know he's in Las Vegas. Brad Lee, Lightspeed, Las Vegas. Looked him up on Open Corporates, took his name, plugged it in, and lo and behold in Google, I got his number. The one that lit up blue went straight to him. That's I've done that with Cardone has like 7 cell phones. I found his real one doing the exact same thing. He has a few that light up blue. Text them. He didn't like that I texted him. Everyone else has been really receptive. So I mean, you can do this with celebrities. You can do this with the neighbor next door. That is how you do that. Just keep searching it. As you get more information, like maybe you find, oh, they have another property in this city. Throw in that city name and the phone number. But you do some research, you find what you can find, and you toss it back into the algorithm, and you just keep re-rolling until you get it. And there are occasions, I think it's about 1 out of 20. I'm making up that statistic, but it feels right. About 1 out of 20 of these, you just don't find the number. There's nothing you can do about it. It's not there. And that's the end of the questions. And I am at the end of a work day where I have not got breakfast yet. So I think it's time for me to go get some food. If you guys have any other questions, there's one more question. Okay, I'm gonna ask this last one. This is from JK. Christian, love your videos. Quick question. Your whole premise of real estate is to find owners via Google Maps and meet them for coffee. That is the main thing. We still work with brokers. Absolutely. About half the deals we've done have been on market. But the best deals we've done, the most creative deals we've done, and the best way to consistently do more and more business where other people aren't competing is 100% find the owners, meet them for coffee. That is also how we raised almost every single dollar we raised. The people who own real estate typically have money after you've done that long enough. They tend to have capital and real estate. They have funded a lot of our projects, and it's the people we met by meeting with other owners. So when you're trying to solve the capital piece, you're trying to solve hey, how do I get started with no money? And where do I find my deals? And how do I put together these deals? And where do I find contractors? All those things come from the people in the market who've done what you are trying to do. So that is the basis of our strategy. Find the owners on Google Maps, reach out, get that coffee meeting, because they're going to be the people on your team who help you move forward. Nothing more valuable than that. It works, it says doing it remote. How do you figure out the neighborhood? Like any of these things you can do remotely. Caleb's a perfect example. He's on the YouTube channel with us occasionally. Where he does this remotely. He calls brokers, he calls owners out of state. He sets up Zoom calls, FaceTimes, phone calls. Sometimes you can't get coffee because you live in San Diego and your properties are in Texas, but you can do it out of state. You're going to rely a little bit heavier on brokers to know the neighborhood details and some of your facts and figures. But same thing, build relationships where you want to be. And if you live in the heart of LA, I know someone, he lives in Colorado now, but he owns 900 units, 20% leverage. So he has 80% equity in 900 units in downtown LA. He is a freak of nature. He's not first generation. His family's been doing this for a few years, but absolutely incredible. You can do it in LA. I did it in Seattle. I have a 7-plex in Seattle. And we literally did that deal to show people you can do it anywhere. I hate Seattle. Yeah, you can do it in Seattle, you can do it in LA. You can invest out of LA, from LA. You can absolutely do it. I love this question. I said I'd be off, but I lied apparently. Where do you want to be multifamily wise by the end of this year? Cody and I will definitely be over 300 units. I think we're gonna be at 500 multifamily units. And I actually want to be, 300 is the target though. I think we'll hit 5. I love calling my shot and hitting it, but 3 is what I need to do personally if I don't want to take on a whole bunch more third-party property management and still grow my property management company to the size I want it to be. Cody and I give myself a small discount on properties I own in property management because I can do that. But 300 will allow me to hire a few more key people, which will expand my ability to do even more third party. That's what I want to do. I really like owning the core of my property management. But by the way, if anyone is looking for a property manager, especially in Grant County, I can say for a fact I'm the best in Grant County. But throughout Washington State, feel free to hit me up at Christian Osgood on Instagram. We're Kensho PM. We just rebranded, and we are very good. I don't claim to be the best at anything except for property management. We are very good. Why do people discount for multifamily? Because your politics are almost, actually they might be worse than ours. Your politics suck. And it's really hard to be a landlord down there. That being said, no one out of state in California wants to invest in California for the most part, which is fantastic for you. If you're the one who wants to deal with the problem of California like I do in Washington, you can buy just about anything. So that's why people diss it, because it is horrible on a legal standpoint. However, if that's the problem you want to fix, you're going to face a lot less competition competing in LA. JK said that I'm awesome. That is a fact, is now documented. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate it. Good entry-level job to get in real estate, to learn the industry, make some money while I'm doing it. Good entry-level job. I started at the CoStar Group, real estate data. I did learn a lot there. I built a lot of relationships there. I learned how to do the math. That being said, if you want to be a real estate investor, you need to invest in real estate. You don't need experience. You don't need to dip your toe in. You're going to learn more buying a property than you are anything else. And what I've learned, about 8 years older than Cody did, you don't need money or credit or anything other than a clear goal and a determination to run the property better than the last person. If you can do that, you can buy literally anything. So in lieu of getting an entry-level job, I would figure out, how do I buy a small multifamily property that I'm comfortable managing, and then go a little bigger than that. I did a duplex, then I did another duplex, then I bought a 38-plex. I should have pushed myself harder on the duplex. I should have tried to buy bigger. I was looking at a 4-plex and it scared me. So I did a duplex, and then I built slow. But I would challenge you, if you want an entry-level job, buy an entry-level property. And I think that's good enough. I don't think you need a job in real estate. That's kind of a school mindset that I think a lot of people, including me, have when you start things. Is I need to get a job to build experience, then I'm going to get qualified to get a bigger job. And entrepreneurship is not a qualification or employment game. You don't need to build your resume. You need to get some points on the board. So that's my 2 cents there. What's the latest time you're comfortable calling owners? I've called owners at like 10 o'clock at night. It just depends on who they are. I'm not going to cold call someone at 10 at night, but I never give that any thought. If I had to say something, maybe 7 p.m. their time. Seems like a reasonable time to stop bothering people with a cold call. I've honestly never given that any thought, and I have no difference in results calling at 9 a.m. or 7 p.m. Like it's pretty consistent. I'm just going through a few of the ones that I may have missed. Does your course also offer seller financing, offer templates? No, I could do you one better. The course, seller financing, offer templates. I actually hate any course that offers offer templates because it assumes that there is a general one-size-fits-all. For creative finance, this is what we'll do. We will go over your deals live every Tuesday, and we will help you structure them and help you write the offer. Because you're writing a custom contract, you get to choose the price, the terms, the interest rate, the special clauses. So we're going to look at every deal as, instead of what box can we put this in, what would make this deal work? And you're allowed to get as creative as you want to be. We will teach you how to think creatively, and we will teach you how to draft any of these with a lawyer, how to communicate it very, very simply with the broker and the lawyer. This is how you do multifamily. That is the only right way to do it. There's a lot of people who offer these offer templates or these, hey, look at our legal doc for partnership. Your partnerships are custom, your contracts are custom, your terms are custom. You shouldn't have a general template. We can absolutely go over some of the ones we use, and we do that all the time. We go live with them, we redact the names and take a look, but there is no exact template. We'll teach you the way to communicate how to get a template created that is right for your deal. If you want to start with a duplex, triplex, but can only afford 220, should I start with a single or buy multi later? No, don't buy single family. It is way too hard to scale. It rents differently. I would avoid single family altogether. If you have 220, Cody started with $3,000. I started with $100,000. I got a duplex, and then I got a duplex, 38plex, 7plex, 6plex. And I didn't make any money in that time. That was all acquisition. I left my job, and that was it. So if you want multifamily, 220 is someone else who's good at math can do this, but that's a lot more than $3,000. That's many times what Cody started with, and more than twice what I started with. You can absolutely start with multi with the money that you have. 38plex for raising down payment and renovation costs. That one, we funded renovation costs out of cash flow, raised $300,000 for the down payment, bought all the investors out in 6 months with a refinance. Now we own the 38, and it is almost completely renovated. We've had 3 phases of renovation. Neil Anderson, can I join the mentorship? Already seen the course. Yes, it's on our website, multifamilystrategy.com. You can actually just sign up directly on there. And next call is tomorrow at 10 a.m. our time, every other, which is Pacific. Then the rest is on Monday and Tuesday. We meet at 4 p.m. Pacific. In resort, what are the costs of repairs? I had some trouble on deal structure. Resort was $4.5 million, one acquisition, $1 million down, 3.5% seller financed. The $1 million was raised from one investor. Repairs, I'm actually having my bookkeeping, they're finishing up the books for me now. I'm getting that all caught up. Repair, I know it cost us about $32,000 a month to run it with all expenses. That's repairs, payroll, maintenance, utilities, taxes, insurance, everything. Costs us about $32K a month. Which is about what it makes in the winter, and then it makes about 90 in the summer. So it makes all its money in the summer, all its positive cash flow in the summer. Resorts are a different beast. And that is actually what I have time for. So I'm going to go ahead and hop off. Everyone, thank you for joining. I know we're just getting some people in right now, so sincerely apologize for a shorter live. However, we will see you all. Follow. What is the things I'm supposed to say? Like, subscribe, and follow for more. And we do this every Wednesday at 3, so we'll see you then.